Hello, and welcome to Select 10. Amazon Prime has some incredible movies that will twist your mind, make you think, and make you doubt reality a long time after the final credits roll. Whether you enjoy psychological riddles, sci-fi thrillers, or surprising narrative twists, we have put together a collection of the top incredible films available on Prime right now that every movie fan should see. Number 10. Get Duped. It is a 2019 dark comedic thriller directed by Ninian Doff. The narrative takes place in the Scottish Highlands and centers on four teens who are selected for the Duke of Edinburgh Award hiking expedition. Shortly, they find themselves lost in the wilds and are pursued by several evil masked leaders, the Duke and the Duchess, who believe they are ridding society of the young people they believe are useless. The film's frames are packed with rapid cuts, visual humor, and bizarre sequences that capitalize on the characters' journey's insanity. Overall, the film is a quick-paced, humorous journey that avoids taking itself too seriously. It pokes fun at conventional privilege, divides between generations and class systems with hilarious insanity. Fans of films with chaotic themes will find it appealing, while others may find the comedy too narrow or its atmosphere overly chaotic. It is less about a solid storyline and more about the unusual experience. Number 9. Apocalypse Z: The Beginning of the End. It is a 2024 zombie action thriller that Carlos Torrens directed. Based on the book by Manel Loureiro, the movie centers on Manel, a lawyer who isolates himself in Galicia, Spain, after losing his wife. As the disease transforms humans into violent zombies, Manel's journey to the Canary Islands to be with his family takes him through dangerous situations, including meetings with odd merchants and other survivors. While its use of typical zombie cliches makes the tale predictable, it expertly captures the suspense and fright of its rooted setting, making it an engaging watch. Indeed, it is hardly revolutionary, but it does have an engaging narrative and good acting, and zombie lovers will enjoy it. Number 8. Shin Kamen Rider. It is a 2023 sci-fi action movie directed by Hideaki Anno. The narrative centers on Takeshi Hongo, a young guy who was kidnapped by the malevolent group Shocker and turned into a formidable cyborg. They intend to make use of him as a weapon, but Hongo defies his training and flees. Identifying himself as Kamen Rider, he teams up with a scientist's daughter who was formerly employed by Shocker to dismantle the corporation entirely. The movie combines visceral horror, bike pursuits, hand-to-hand fighting, and intensely dramatic concepts, such as Hongo's conflict over his human nature and cyborg identity. It is the third entry in Anno's Shin reboot series and a contemporary reinterpretation of the first Kamen Rider series from 1971. While fans of the original Kamen Rider series will love the nods and visual nostalgia, it can feel psychologically brutal at moments. Also, its pace is erratic, with extended philosophical discussions interrupted with abrupt outbursts of brutality. However, for audiences who want philosophical science fiction, it's a fascinating film. Number 7. Totally Killer. Directed by Nahnatchka Khan, it is a comedy horror slasher movie with a time travel element. The film takes place in Vernon, a tiny town traumatized by the unsolved 1987 murders of 3 teenage girls by the Sweet 16 killer, who was never captured. The story focuses on Jamie Hughes, a high school student whose mother, Pam, survived those initial killings. On Halloween night, she gets transported back to 1987, a few days before the initial murders. Trapped in the past, she has to work with the teenage versions of her parents to stop the initial killings. The film skillfully balances the 1980s mood with the exhausted present-day timeline, and the horror parts are sleek but generally less brutal, making the tone amusing rather than fearful. Overall, Totally Killer's main highlights are Kiernan Shipka's performance, unique sci-fi twist, and brilliant screenplay, which make the film quite enjoyable. Number 6. The Aeronauts. It is a 2019 historical adventure drama that Tom Harper directed. Based on the adventures of real-life meteorologist James Glacier, it depicts the historic 1862 balloon trip that reached the greatest height ever recorded at the time. The plot unfolds in Victorian England and centers on James Glacier, a scientist who is committed to demonstrating that the climate can be predicted using atmospheric data. To prove his theory, he convinces a balloon pilot to accompany him on a risky airborne adventure. Their quest for knowledge becomes a struggle for survival as they ascend to more than 36,000 feet with no oxygen. The film's spectacular cinematography brilliantly captures scary high-altitude scenes, expansive cloudscapes, and magnificent aerial landscapes. But historically, the film takes substantial liberties, which could perplex the audience. Nevertheless, despite sacrificing precise historical accuracy, the movie is a successful adventure and visual extravaganza that soars because of its high-altitude sequences, lead performances, and great portrayal of the enthusiasm of 19th century research and human desire. Number 5. Suspiria. It is a 2018 psychological horror movie and a reimagining of the same-titled cult classic from 1977 by Dario Argento. The film chronicles Susie Bannion, an aspiring American ballerina who enrolls in the elite Marcos Dance School in West Berlin in 1977. Hidden from the outer world, the school is operated by a witch clan commanded by the sinister Madame Blanc. Soon after arriving, Susie discovers that the school is home to evil supernatural powers and begins to have frightening experiences, including visions. The dance choreography, bodily horror, and surreal editing all add to the film's mesmerizing and terrifying splendor. The movie is much more thoughtful than a normal horror movie. It replaces jump scares with spiritual concepts of power, remorse, and parenthood. Overall, it is more of a reimagining than a conventional remake, upending notions and extending the original's mythology. Its daring, frightening, and complex horror story is unlikely to appeal to everyone, but it delivers solid, unique horror. Number 4. Green Room. Directed by Jeremy Saulnier, it is a 2015 horror survival thriller. The plot centers on the Ain't Rights, a failing band that unexpectedly gets an event at a secluded pub situated deep in the Oregon countryside. Following a performance, they unintentionally witness a murder in the club's green room and get imprisoned there. As the night descends into a nightmare, the band must battle to stay alive, utilizing any tools they acquire to defend themselves from attackers. Overall, Green Room is violent, brutal, and not for the weak of heart. The brutality is realistic and frequently disturbing, supporting the narrative rather than glorifying bloodshed. It begins slowly and builds to full-fledged dread, interwoven with grim humor and criticism on survival, hate, and tribes. If there is a drawback, it is that certain supporting characters are underutilized, but this minimalism also serves as part of the film's raw strength. Number 3. The Tomorrow War. It is a 2021 sci-fi action blockbuster that Chris McKay directed. The movie centers on Dan Forrester, a science professor at a high school and former soldier who is searching for meaning in life. During a televised worldwide event, a force from the future arrives, warning that Earth will be at battle with an alien species in 30 years, and humanity is going to lose horribly. To safeguard the future, current citizens are enlisted into a future to participate in battle. At the same time, Dan is also drafted and transported into the future, where he discovers a world in ruins and joins forces with Colonel Murray Forrester to eliminate the aliens. The film is packed with excellent CGI, as well as alien designs that are astonishingly dreadful and wild. While enjoyable, it is not without drawbacks. The time travel concept is less hard sci-fi and more popcorn science. Nevertheless, the film manages to successfully combine military spectacle, extraterrestrial fear, and family drama. Even though it incorporates aspects from well-known science fiction movies like Edge of Tomorrow, it maintains its interest with new surprises. Number 2. The Handmaiden. It is a 2016 psychological thriller drama directed by Park Chan-wook. Drawing inspiration from Sarah Waters' book Fingersmith, the film begins in 1930s Korea during Japanese colonial rule and centers on Suki, a young woman recruited to be the new maid to Lady Hideko, a powerful Japanese heiress who resides in a remote region palace with her repressive uncle. Unknown to Hideko, Suki is covertly assisting a strange man who intends to obtain her wealth. However, things take unforeseen turns as Suki and Hideko form a bond, creating a plot full of power struggles, shifts, psychological twists, and emotional tension. Overall, it's a lush, multi-layered story with a mix of suspense, passion, and trickery, wonderfully written in a non-linear format that gradually unveils each character's secret purposes and mysteries. While some may find romance elements intense, they are always backed by character, emotion, and topic, rather than the shock factor. It's among the 2010s most engrossing and enticing psychological thrillers. Number 1. The Bourne Identity. Based on Robert Ludlum's book, it is the first film of the highly regarded Jason Bourne spy thriller film series, which was directed by Doug Liman. This film features Matt Damon as the amnesiac assassin Jason Bourne, beginning a high-stakes narrative that transformed modern espionage movies with a realistic style. The story begins with a man who has been recovered from the sea, completely amnesic and covered in gunshot wounds. As he gets better, he discovers that he is being pursued by government operatives and elite killers who are involved in a secret CIA Black Ops project known as Treadstone. While on the run, Bourne tries to avoid and face operatives sent to kill him while he pieces together who he really is. The movie is renowned for its rough, realistic action style and steers clear of flashy technology in favor of thrilling chases and unvarnished fights. Overall, the film shines with an intellectual storyline and a striking tone. Despite being less extravagant than subsequent sequels, this first movie does a fantastic job of balancing action, mystery, and character development. It is still a must-watch for fans of action and espionage, owing to Matt Damon's subtle intensity, unforgettable action, and a plot that is balanced between mystery and thrills. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe to our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.